need to tell someone what I did, and you're going to think I'm terrible. But there's something about keeping Tinder just in case that nobody understands until they're lying alone in a bed that used to hold two people. Everyone thinks Marcus is the villain in this story, acting like I've murdered someone just because I kept a dating app. The truth is, I'm the one who ruined everything, and here's what really happened when I said those 5 stupid words. If I don't tell this story, you'll never understand why my husband now sleeps in the spare room and hasn't touched me in 3 weeks. But once you know what I know about the hole I dug for myself, you'll see why I had no choice but to watch him pack his pillow and walk away. I'm going to tell you everything, including the screenshot that started this whole mess. And the part that makes me look worst, I'm saving that for the end because you need to understand how comfortable I'd gotten with lying to myself first. It started 6 months ago when my friend Jenna got divorced. She'd been with her husband since college, never been with anyone else, and suddenly she's thrust into this dating world that looked terrifying. She called me crying about Tinder, how she didn't know how to talk to men anymore, and in my wisdom, I downloaded it to help her. That's what I told myself. I was being a good friend. But that's not even the worst part. There's something about my marriage I haven't told you yet, something I'd been hiding from everyone, including myself. Marcus and I had fallen into this pattern where we'd watch Netflix in silence, go to bed at different times, and the last time we'd had sex was during the summer. I'd convinced myself this was normal for people together 8 years. I should have known something was wrong when Marcus started working late every Tuesday. I ignored it because I was too busy swiping through profiles for Jenna to notice my own husband pulling away. Looking back, the signs were all there, but I was too wrapped up in my secret world to see what was coming. Here's where I really messed up. Everyone was trying to warn me about something, but I couldn't see that they meant I was becoming addicted to attention. My friend Sarah asked if I still had the app after Jenna got comfortable, and I laughed it off. It's just for entertainment, I told her. I never message anyone. That night, something happened that I've never told anyone about. I was showing Jenna how to spot red flags in bios when I saw Marcus's colleague Tom on there. His profile said recently separated, and I felt this thrill of knowing something I shouldn't. I screenshotted it to show Marcus, thinking we'd laugh about it together. That's all it was supposed to be. I know how this sounds, but it gets worse. While I was worried about Tom's marriage, the real problem was that I'd started looking forward to my secret swiping time. When Marcus worked late, I'd pour wine and settle into the couch like it was my favorite show. I convinced myself it was harmless because I wasn't messaging anyone, but I was lying to myself about why I kept checking it. You're probably thinking I wanted to cheat, but you don't understand the real reason. Have you ever been so starved for attention that you create situations where strangers find you attractive, even if you never act on it? I told myself Marcus still loved me, he was just tired, while simultaneously collecting matches like they proved I still mattered to someone. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, I posted a photo of Marcus and me at his company Christmas party. Everyone commented about what a perfect couple we were, how lucky we were to find each other so young. The photo got 127 likes, and I felt like such a fraud because 2 hours earlier, I'd been swiping through Tinder in the bathroom while Marcus got us drinks. My friends all said we were relationship goals, but what they didn't know was that I'd started having dreams about my matches. Not sexual dreams, just dreams where we were talking, and they were really interested in what I had to say. I woke up feeling guilty, but also alive in a way I hadn't in months. I know this makes me sound like a terrible wife, but in the moment, it felt like I was protecting myself from getting hurt. If Marcus was pulling away, wasn't it smart to have options? That's how I rationalized it. I convinced myself that everyone kept backup plans, that I was just being realistic about modern relationships. Looking back, I can see how my behavior was wrong, but at the time, I felt like I was the one getting abandoned. Marcus came home from work and went straight to his office. We stopped eating dinner together. I told myself that keeping the app was just preparing for the inevitable, like having insurance on a house that was already burning. The truth bomb came on a Thursday. Marcus had been acting strange all week, and I assumed he was stressed about work. I was literally swiping through profiles when he walked into the living room holding my phone. He'd never looked through it before, but something made him check, and there it was, plain as day. Remember when I said I never messaged anyone? That was true, but here's what I haven't told you, and it changes everything. I'd been screenshotting profiles and sending them to my group chat with snarky comments. Not just random people, but people we knew. Marcus saw messages where I'd mocked his friend's new girlfriend, where I'd commented on his boss's terrible photos, where I'd become this version of myself that sickened him. I should have been relieved that everything was finally out in the open, but instead I felt this panicked need to defend myself. "It's just a joke," I said. "It doesn't mean anything." But Marcus looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time, and not in a good way. That's when he said something that destroyed me. "You've been having an emotional affair with your phone for 6 months. He wasn't yelling, which made it worse. He was just quiet and sad and done. I wanted him to scream, to give me something to fight against. But instead, he just walked to the spare room and closed the door. Everyone could see what was happening except me. My sister later admitted they'd all noticed how I'd started checking my phone constantly, how I'd angle it away when Marcus walked by, how I'd become this person who measured her worth in matches and messages. They thought I was already cheating, and in a way, they were right. The real reason I'm telling you this is because Marcus moved out yesterday. Not because I slept with someone else, but because I created this entire secret life that made him feel like he wasn't enough. I kept that app because I was terrified of being alone, and now I'm exactly what I feared. Stop and think about this for a second. Would you have done what I did? Would you have convinced yourself that keeping doors open was smarter than working on what you had? Because that's what I told myself every night while Marcus fell asleep without touching me, while he stopped reaching for my hand, while he gave up on us because I'd already checked out. Now, 3 weeks later, here's where things stand. Marcus comes by to get clothes while I'm at work. He talks to me like I'm a roommate he barely knows. The spare room has become his permanent space, and I sleep in our bed alone, surrounded by pillows that still smell like him, though that scent fades more each day. The worst part about what happened isn't that I got caught. It's that I created the very thing I was afraid of. I was so scared of being unwanted that I made myself undesirable. I was so afraid of being alone that I chose isolation over connection. And now, when I finally deleted the app that destroyed my marriage, I realized I wasn't keeping it just in case Marcus left me. I was keeping it because I'd already left him in every way that mattered.